Alrighty, welcome back. Part 2, Intent to Injure podcast.
This is literally 30 seconds later. We ran.
We just walked out.
Woohoo! Woohoo! I missed this as the goal song. Woohoo! The Blur song number 2. That's what it's called.
It is.
So here we are. We're driving to the haircuts. This is. I would recommend not watching the screen because this could give you a headache because we're bumping all over the place. So it's a little nauseating. But
Alright, so you want to talk about Fleury, and we might as well just group that into some Vesna talk because I did want to give some props to my boy Pecorine.
Yeah, I would say. So Fleury. I've been openly in our entire group of friends, peers, whatever you want to call it, one of the biggest Fleury supporters ever.
And I'm the other one.
Yeah, and you are too. I hated Brent Johnson coming into those playoffs 2 years ago.
It was Vokoun.
Or Vokoun. My God, it was Vokoun. Yeah, I hated it. I didn't support it. And maybe this is me being stubborn to a fault. Maybe this is me just saying, if you have a number one goalie, you play him. Vokoun has never been a number one goalie, as proven by the fact that he was making $1.5 million sitting on our bench as backup. So I just always think you ride the horse that got you there. Fleury had an unbelievable regular season that year. And yes, let's start all the devil's advocate of what have you done for me in the playoffs, blah, blah, blah. Well, if you want me to make a comparison to like what have you done during the playoffs, let's look even this year. And I've had this rant keyed up this bullet's been in the chamber for a long time. So look at what Clayton Kershaw did in Major League Baseball this year. He had a top 5 all-time, not like home run era, not modern day baseball, top 5 all-time regular season. Like the best pitcher, in all honesty, probably the best season since Pedro Martinez had like a 1.7 ERA in Boston, who just recently got elected to the Hall of Fame. Like we're talking, this was like the most unanimous Cy Young win ever. Probably should have won the MVP as well, although pitchers have their own award. So kind of like, and it's like weird because that almost translates to goalies in hockey because they don't win MVPs, although they could. It's weird to me though because this guy's on the ice all 60 minutes. He never comes off. He's probably your most important player. You could make a case for Fleury being more important. Or you can make a case for your goalie being more important than your captain on every single team in the league.
There's no doubt that's true.
And if people say like, oh, Crosby's more important than Fleury, I'm not really arguing that point. I'm just arguing ask the Kings where they would have been last year without their goalie being their best player. Drew Doughty can be your captain. Justin Williams can be the best Game 7 player of all time. But
what the hell are you talking about? Dustin Brown.
Oh, that's right. Dustin Brown is their captain. Regardless, I was kind of going for their best player. But, so, yeah, find me Dustin Brown in the playoffs. Find me these people. So, and if Quick had a bad playoff last year, would people be crediting his regular season? Would people be discrediting the one cup he already won? People love to forget the fact that Fleury, not single-handedly, but goddamn near close, single-handedly won us a cup that year. Name me another goalie.
And he was even better the year before.
The year before, when they lost. And he sat on a puck that went into the net from Zetterberg. He doesn't sit on that puck. The Pens could have 2 cups. So you tell me, the skate save he made the best save of all time. The skate save he made in Game 5 in double overtime. I'm pretty sure it was double overtime because it went into a third overtime when Peter Sikora scored. That was the best save. That's better than the Peter Pietrangelo save because that was luck. He just stuck his glove out, and the Devils player happened to, or was it Devils or Hawks? Devils just happened to shoot the puck into his glove. I mean, unfortunately, I could have made the same save just based on the fact that if I stuck my glove out and the puck hit it,
that's a little.
Well, right, but like it was one of those "look what I found" line drives back to the pitcher, like, oh, my glove was there and it hit it. The save Fleury made that kept us in it. It's just. People just forget that. He gave up 5 goals in Game 5 in Detroit. We lost 5-0 in that game. Did he get pulled?
Yeah,
you were there.
I was there in Detroit.
When did he get pulled? Do you remember?
He got pulled.
Was it 30 probably? Because he let in some real ugly ones. I mean, they let in like a wrist shot from the point. Yeah.
It was a weird game, and I always refer to it as a nightmare because that's what it was.
That's what it was, yeah. But like a goalie to have the wherewithal and the mental capacity to come back from that and play probably the 2 best games of his life.
Yeah, let up 2 goals.
2 goals against a team that may go down. That Red Wings team will go down as one of the better hockey teams.
Yeah.
I mean, ever. That
and
team
they were the defending champions.
was loaded, fucking loaded. I mean, there's no other way to put it. You could run through that roster, and the amount of Hall of Famers that would be on that roster, it's insane. Osgood, Lidstrom, Datsuk, Zetterberg. You could just go Cronwall, maybe, but you could just run down that list of people. And then they had all those great secondary players that made that team even better. Their coach is a first ballot Hall of Famer, and Fleury played so well. And my thing is, like, people want to say, like, oh, let's only judge the playoffs, blah blah blah, whatever. If you judge off just based off the playoffs, you would more or less have to say that Justin Williams is one of the best players in the history of hockey. Like, that doesn't make much sense to me. And people always bitch about, oh, Crosby scored 1 goal or 2 goals last year in 13 games or whatever it was. Like, you can't, like, judging a player based on that small sample size of games when there's added pressure or whatever. I mean, that to me doesn't make any sense. So Clayton Kershaw must be a shitty pitcher because he didn't perform this year in the playoffs and he laid 2 eggs. He didn't have his best stuff.
Well,
like,
bottom line is this. Fleury's consistently got it done in the regular season, and he's got it done in the playoffs in his career, period.
Right.
There's not too many goalies you can say that about in the NHL.
No. And people will hearken. People loved to, Fleury bashers loved to forget the year that he kept us in the playoffs against Tampa Bay. That team, that Pens team, was not, I mean, terrible is a large stretch.
No Malkin.
I mean,
the leading scorer was Aaron Asham.
In that series, Aaron Asham. And Tyler Kennedy was the leading scorer on the team, like, that year after Malkin and Crosby went out. I mean, so Fleury kept us. We lost 1-0 at home and had like 40 shots on. Was that Craig Anderson or Ben? Who was playing that year?
What's his name?
Rolson. Oh my, Dwayne. Oh my God, that was awful. Like, that was painful to watch. And
yeah, I mean, that was a hell of a playoff series by Fleury.
And people just love to bring up. And, like, I don't know, people just love to bring up, everyone forgets that Bill Buckner was a hell of a baseball player and deserves to be in the Hall of Fame because he let 1 ball go through his legs. Fleury had, I mean, let's call a spade, a terrible 3 games against the Islanders. And I'm pretty sure Bilesma, I mean, kind of crapped his pants there, I think. I don't know, like, he brought in Brent Johnson and Brooks Orpik. That was just a weird series. Brooks Orpik scores your overtime winner in Game 6. And then you're coming into Boston and, like, I think it goes to show just how difficult it is to play goalie in the playoffs because Vokun comes in, and there's all the Vokun and Matata shit, which really just irritates me because, yes, anyways.
Yeah.
Fleury deserves a fucking Vezina this year if he keeps going at the pace that he's going.
Yeah, he's been awesome. He's been the Pens' best player.
Pecorine, though.
Pecorine has been, I mean, and you've been on the podcast, you've been saying that you don't believe Nashville is a contender, you think they're a pretender. I think that as long as they have Pecorine,
they're in.
I mean, he's just so good. They've found some kind of some awkward scoring.
Sorry, podcast. They have, and I've actually picked up another nice segue from you. You're like segue genius today. I've actually picked up 2. I've been regularly starting 2 Predators now. I'm starting Colin Wilson and Mike Fisher. They're on the same line. They're always passing the puck to each other, and they keep scoring for some reason. I'm going to run them till the horse is dry.
Yeah, and you know what? And I also want to give some props to Roman Yossi. I have him back on D. He's a stud. He's put up, if you go check out his stats, he's putting up some serious points.
I remember you saying, did you draft him?
No, I think Johnny did. It was like a running joke because they've been kind of projecting him to be good forever.
Is he like the Goligoski thing where
almost,
it's like... Yeah,
but he's like a younger version of it. But this year he's really coming into his own. I picked him up off waivers maybe about a month ago, and he's been really good. So Nashville, they're trying.
Yeah, I know. They're trying.
And you gotta like Laviolette there as head coach as well.
And he's been doing. He's done a great job for what he has. I mean, he does not have much offensive talent there, but you're going to this place here. Park right there. You can park in the left one or the right one. I don't know. But we're gonna do a part 3 on the way out of here because this was only 10 minutes. We got here a lot faster than I thought we would. No traffic. So we'll be back in 25 minutes with shorter hair. Maybe lose a couple ounces of weight.